Welcome back. In this section, we will look at call options. A call option is the right, but not the obligation, to buy an asset at a predetermined price, the strike price, at an expiry date in the future. It is the fact that you have a choice whether to buy the stock or not, which makes the payoff non-linear. Let's look at an example. If we bought a call option on Apple with a strike price of 150, what would the payoff look like? So we know that if we buy the stock at 150, well, we start to make money if the stock goes above 150. If, however, the stock goes down and we just buy the stock, then we lose money. Now, in the case of an option, if at expiry, the stock price was above 150, then we would exercise the option to buy the stock. That's called exercising my option. And I would buy the stock, I'd buy the shares at 150, and therefore I would make however much money I would have made if I was just long the stock. So for example, if the stock went to 160, you would exercise your right, and the payoff of being long that call option would be making you $10 per share. That's just the payoff. Now, if, however, the stock ended up below 150, I would not exercise my option. I would do nothing with my option. I would let it expire, and I would end up staying on this horizontal part of the payoff where you lose nothing. That's the non-linearity that options give you. That choice that you make to either exercise and purchase those shares at the strike price of 150, or to forego it and just let it expire, that's what gives you the non-linear payoff of options. Now, to achieve this non-linear payoff, to buy this option and have this non-linear payoff and this choice requires you to spend money. That money that you spend to buy this option is called the option premium. If you don't spend or buy this option and spend the option premium, then you can't have access to this non-linear payoff. So once we factor in the actual price, and let's assume it cost us $5. So what does that mean? So when you buy one contract of an option, that gives you the right to trade 100 shares. And if that option costs $5, then the actual premium that you need to pay is 5 multiplied by 100, which is $500. So as we have seen before, if we were just buying 100 shares at a price of 150, that would cost us $15,000 to be able to buy that stock. In the case of this call option that's just costing us $5, we're only having to spend $500 to buy it. That is a lot less money than the $15,000 that we were going to have to spend before. And arguably, if the stock rallies, we can potentially make quite a lot of money from that initial investment of only $500. So this is another reason why people trade options. Options give you leverage. This call option that gives me the right to buy the shares, and it gives me the right to buy 15 grand worth of shares, this option is only costing me $500. Now, if we want to see what our true P&L is of this option position, then we have to reflect the price that we have paid for the option. And if we're saying the option cost us $5, then we have to shift the payoff down by the amount of the premium. So you can see that whilst the payoff, or what we call the hockey stick, has 0 payoff below the strike and makes money 1-for-1 with the stock price appreciation above the strike, once we factor in the premium and shift that hockey stick down, we see that we will actually be losing money if the stock ends up below 150. Anywhere below 150 in the stock, we will lose our premium, which is $5 per share or $500 in total. If, however, the stock ends up above 150, that's when we're going to start to make money on the way up. And there is a point at which we are going to cross over the zero line, at which point the money that we make from the payoff of the call option is equal to the premium that we spent for the call option. And this point is called the break-even point. This is the point at which the option will actually start to make us profit. And the break-even is simply calculated by taking the strike price plus the premium, which in this case was 5, and 150 was the strike, so the break-even would be $155. If the stock ends up above 155 at expiry, we are going to be in profit on this option purchase.